Here's a great stretch that you can do to combat the effect of sitting for long periods of time. The setup is a half kneeling position, so take a knee. Once you've got your favorite leg down, I want you to try to posteriorly tip your pelvis. So if the pelvis were a bowl of water, we would want the water to spill out the back side of the bowl. Another way you can think of this is trying to reach your belt buckle. So go ahead and create that posterior tilt, and at this point you might already feel a little stretch through the front of the hip here. To increase the sensation of stretch, slide your pelvis forward of your bottom knee without losing the posterior pelvic tilt that you established at the beginning. You should find a pretty good stretch here. Make little adjustments, make sure you're feeling the best stretch for you. And once you've got that in position, stay in the stretch for at least a minute. So for this mobilization, the PAILs effort is to contract the front tissues of the leg by trying to pull the knee forwards. It can be helpful to create some effort on this front leg to help you find this contraction on the bottom leg here. So if you pull your bottom knee forward and you pull your front foot backwards toward that knee, it'll help increase the strength of this contraction through the front of the leg. For the PAILs, you want to start with a low level contraction, ramp up to your safest, greatest contraction, and hold that intensity for 10 to 20 seconds. After the PAILs, you switch to rails. In the rails here, we try to contract the back side of the hip in an effort to try to push our knee behind our hip. To find this contraction better, you can use your front leg again, and you can press your front foot away from your back foot to encourage more of this back side of hip contraction. Same thing as PAILs, strong safe contraction for 10 to 20 seconds. When you're done, don't move, relax, assess the stretch, and see if you can find a little bit more. You'll probably have access to more stretch. And repeat this process at least a couple times. You want the entirety of the stretch, including the contractions, to last about 3 to 5 minutes. If you want to level this up and increase the intensity even more, we can add more of a bend in the knee of the bottom leg. So the setup would be very similar. Make sure you have something to help you balance. You want to take that knee and create more flexion, more bend. So you can use your couch. Just set your back foot up on the couch. Find the stretch in the same way. Posterior tilt of the pelvis, slight shift of the pelvis forward to really ramp that stretch up. And now the PAILs and rails has a little bit extra intention. Now the PAILs at the hip is the same. Pulling that knee forward or front foot back to create the contraction here. But to get that contraction to spread down the rest of the leg, we also want to push the back foot down into the couch or block, whatever it is you're using back here. So PAILs, knee forward, foot down. Ramp up, hold for that 10 to 20 seconds, switch to rails. For rails, we're squeezing the knee back while trying to lift the foot off of the support behind us. This will really get you into your hamstring as you try to bend the knee further. Be careful. Cramps are highly likely on this one, so if you start to feel a hamstring cramp coming on, reduce the effort to lift your foot just below the point of the cramp. So to recap, you got two options. Your half kneel here, PAILs, knee forward, rails, knee backwards. More advanced version, we're taking our back foot up to add an increased flexion of the knee. PAILs is knee forward and foot down. Rails is knee backwards and foot up. Give it a shot.